Hi, I'm State Representative Roger Goodman, coming to you from the floor of the House of Representatives here at the state capitol in Olympia. It's an honor and a pleasure to serve you from the 45th District, which includes the city of Duval, Woodinville, Sammamish, Redmond, and Kirkland. Well, we're now in what's called the interim period. The regular and special sessions of the legislature have now concluded. There's a lot of legislative work to be done, but it's not so much here in the state capitol, but more in our home districts. I have a district office, and you're also welcome to visit me there as well. During the session, we had particularly the toughest time balancing the budget. We don't have adequate revenue coming in because these are tough economic times, and yet we have to find a way to pay for the essential services, particularly our K-12 system. And I'm pleased to report that after a lot of negotiation, and we actually had to go into a special session of the legislature, a little bit of extra time, we were able to balance the budget without cutting our public education system, without cutting higher education, and without cutting the so-called safety net, the essential programs for our vulnerable citizens. So it was a lot of hard work, and we had to give a little bit, but in fact we're kind of holding steady as the economy has bottomed out and we're slowly climbing out of it. In the meanwhile, I was busy on a number of other issues here in the legislature beyond the budget. I'm the vice chair of the Judiciary Committee and also sit on the Public Safety Committee, the civil and criminal sides of our justice system. I'm one of the few lawyers here in the legislature, kind of assigned myself to look out for the justice system to make sure that we can preserve it. I've been cracking down on drunk driving in particular. Got another major bill through this year that will save further lives and prevent serious injuries on our roadways by putting technology in the cars of known drunk drivers. It's a strategy that has really worked very well. In addition, domestic violence is another chronic social problem that I've been trying to attack, and got another major bill through this year to reduce the harm from domestic violence, particularly to keep abusers away from the abused and their children by protecting their confidentiality. Another bill that I got through this year has to do with the garnishment laws. People's wages and bank accounts are being garnished all the time, and the system wasn't really working very well. There was a lot of judicial bureaucracy getting in the way. The poor wage earners were left with nothing after their wages are garnished, so they couldn't even pay rent. And then on the other side, the small businesses that were owed their money weren't getting their money. And so by bringing the stakeholders together, we were able to come up with a big piece of legislation that sort of cleans up our garnishment statutes. It's an important consumer protection measure, and then also helps small businesses as well, sort of a win-win for everyone. There's a lot of unfinished business, though, particularly about education, on the bookends of our K-12 system. Early learning, or early childhood education on the one hand, and higher education, both career and technical, and our four-year colleges. I'm very, very concerned that we're not investing enough to make sure that our kids are ready for school, and on the other end, that our graduating seniors have the opportunities that they deserve. So I did introduce a bill this year that did not make it through because we are in tough times and can't find the revenue at the moment. But we will, I know, phase in preschool, high-quality early learning opportunities for every kid in the state, no matter what their background, because the research is very compelling that if you're not ready for kindergarten, you fall behind right away. And I want to make sure that every kid has the chance to be ready for school and healthy as well, and ready for success in life. On the other end, particularly in the 45th District, where we have a very dense, high-wage, high-tech job base, I want to make sure that the kids coming out of our high schools in Sammamish and Redmond and Woodinville and Kirkland get the skills that they need to compete with the kids coming from overseas, in fact, to take the jobs in our own backyard. And so higher education is really a top priority to make sure that we're funding it, creating the necessary slots for our talented kids coming out of high school, for tuition assistance, and for student loan forgiveness and so forth. There's a lot of issues we have to take care of to make sure that our kids have the skills to compete in this global economy. The final thing that I've always been concerned about is our natural beauty, our beautiful gem of the Pacific Northwest. Our environment is under threat, particularly Puget Sound. And we haven't been investing sufficiently to make sure that, for instance, stormwater runoff doesn't pollute the Puget Sound and also the Sound itself. We have a lot of work to do and a lot of money to invest, so I'm going to be trying to champion that as we move forward, along with business development in general in our district. So it's a great pleasure, as I said, it's an honor to serve you here in Olympia, and I encourage you to contact me. You can contact me in a number of different ways, either by email or by telephone, the number in Olympia here, or in our Kirkland office. The district office is open and available to you. Please call us and come by for a visit. That really makes a difference, you know, when you have some FaceTime with me, because it makes an impression, puts an important issue on my radar screen, and I will be much more responsive and try to be accessible all the time. Thank you again for the opportunity to serve you here in the state legislature, and I'll be coming back to you again with another update pretty soon. Thanks very much.